Internet Anarchist might just be one of the most successful and well-respected commentary channels out there, having gained over 1 million subscribers in less than 2 years on the platform. Now normally he creates critical content where he constantly attacks other people, but today the tables have turned, as he finds himself on the receiving end of YouTuber allegations. Yesterday a nuclear exposed video dropped against Internet Anarchist by a previously unknown creator, accusing him of some downright disturbing actions and revealing a lot of embarrassing details about his private life. Now at this moment in time, Internet Anarchist is getting clowned on relentlessly because of this video. However, while I think there's some truth to the allegations, the video also features a lot of over-exaggerations and jumping to wild conclusions. So today I decided to fully break down the Internet Anarchist allegations. Now before we take a look at what the allegations actually consist of, let's see how the person attempting to expose Internet Anarchist framed the whole thing. Now at the time of the upload on January 5th, the channel attacking Internet Anarchist actually had no subscribers, and as a matter of fact, it had just been created 4 days earlier, meaning the Internet Anarchist exposed video actually ended up being the first video ever released on that channel. However, the quality of that video highly implies that this channel is an alt account of some sorts, and I think this is done as a safety measure so that if the video fails there won't be any consequences for the creator. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This person goes by the name BimBom, and he seems to be from Thailand, even though he put United States as his channel location for some reason. Now the way he promoted this video already confirms that he intended for this to be like a viral exposed video, because first he basically reused Dogbag's thumbnail style for the MrBeast exposed videos and just repurposed it to Internet Anarchist, and secondly he went on the YouTube drama subreddit to proudly proclaim, "I exposed predator Internet Anarchist," a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. And I'm not here to like police how other creators conduct themselves online, but surely if your video really massively exposed Internet Anarchist, it would be able to stand on its own. Like going to the YouTube drama subreddit and boasting about exposing him makes you come across as extremely overconfident and hungry for clout. Especially since this whole thing really seems like it's designed to go viral, because he even censored every single swear word even though he had no subs, so he's not even monetized, and throughout the video he kept on repeating that you should sub to his channel because he will do the same exposing to other massive YouTubers as well. And like surely that makes it sound like you don't actually care about what Internet Anarchist did, because if you did care you would purely focus on him and his wrongdoing instead of just already advertising the next exposed video to your audience. But I am gonna cut this guy some slack since this is the first ever video on this channel, so I'll give the allegations a fair shot.
Videos about downfalls, creeps and predators. This is Internet Anarchist, but the real Internet Anarchist might be a creep, drug trafficker and sex ped himself.
So this is essentially what this person here is alleging. Internet Anarchist is a creep, a predator, and a drug trafficker. Now he showed this message right here and also in the YouTube thumbnail, which I do believe to be kind of disingenuous because Internet Anarchist never sent that message. That was another person entirely, and also just a lot of context is missing here. But looking past that, this video does pretty much conclusively prove that Internet Anarchist seems to be just like a complete degenerate, because the main basis for the video is basically that this guy found Internet Anarchist's account on a Thailand NSFW adult Discord, and this is pretty much 100% confirmed to be real. It's actually his account, and he exposes all of Internet Anarchist's messages on there where he openly talks about his daily drug use, smuggling drugs into countries, and engaging in some questionable activities with Thai sex workers. Now I will dive into detail for all of this when it comes up in the video, but essentially it seems conclusive that Internet Anarchist is a drug and sex addict who moved to Thailand to live an extremely degenerate lifestyle there, and again that's insane behavior coming from a famous YouTuber, and I will make sure to properly give him shit for this. But the problem is that the guy exposing him tries to make him seem like a predator, and I frankly don't believe there is enough evidence to make that claim, and I honestly think this guy is grasping at straws and jumping to insane conclusions to justify his perspective. Let me show you this clip for example.
He used a dating site called Thai Friendly. I just signed up for Thai Friendly and just had heaps of middle-aged Thai ladies trying to hit on me within minutes. And shortly before moving to Thailand, I set my Tinder location to Thailand, and there has been some sus accounts. He wasn't even in the country yet, but all he could think about were local Thai girls.
Alright, so this is basically how he starts the video, and I feel like he's already jumping to conclusions, as well as blowing things out of proportion. So Internet Anarchist moved from his home country Australia to Thailand in 2023, meaning he chose to live in a less developed area where he doesn't speak their language, which I'll admit is uncommon behavior, but that doesn't mean that all he could think about were Thai girls. That's an unhinged claim considering he's saying this on the basis of 2 screenshots of Internet Anarchist talking about Thai women 17 months apart from each other. That is not enough evidence to even definitively claim that he's obsessed with Thai girls, never mind that he's predatory towards them.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because next I will expose another YouTuber with 1 million plus subscribers and hundreds of millions of views.
We are not even 1 minute into the video and all he did so far was launch bad faith arguments against Internet Anarchist while showing no evidence, and he's already telling us to subscribe and that he will expose another YouTuber next. This seems like a hardcore cloud chaser move and it comes across as really unserious, which is a problem considering this person is alleging Internet Anarchist is a predator. But again, it's their first video, so I will let this slide just this once. By the way, before we go any further, I just want to quickly say YouTube Studio tells me most of you watching aren't actually subbed to the channel, so if you enjoy what you're seeing, please subscribe, because I'm trying to get to 1,250 subs this month and it would absolutely mean the world to me if we did it, so I appreciate you guys so much. Anyway, back to the video.
Later on, his Discord friend, a 31-year-old man who is attracted to cupcake-year-old girls and who informed the Discord server that the age of consent in the Philippines was raised from 12 to 7. This man asked Internet Anarchist what his YouTube channel was. Keep in mind that Internet Anarchist knew this man was attracted to cupcake girls. He continued talking with him, liking his comments and so on.
In my opinion, this is the definition of bad faith journalism. This guy set out to make a video framing Internet Anarchist as a predator and he's using every single bit of evidence he can find to build this narrative, and it's pissing me off because he does also show actual questionable behavior from Internet Anarchist later, but he's discrediting himself by not only making the video downright unwatchable through the constant cupcake, but also this is just so disingenuously framed. The person messaging Internet Anarchist is not his friend. They're a random person in a 300 plus people Discord server. Alleging that Internet Anarchist knew of them being a creep is borderline insane. First of all, why is this guy censoring parts of the message? It makes him look so untrustworthy. Like if it were me here, I would show the full chat log. And secondly, the message about the age of consent was posted over a full year before he interacted with Internet Anarchist. Okay, sorry, different mic quality, editing me here. I just double checked this to make sure that I didn't get anything wrong. And as a matter of fact, this message was sent 4 months before Internet Anarchist even joined the server. It would have been impossible for Internet Anarchist to know about this. It's extremely likely that Internet Anarchist has never seen this message in his entire life. Secondly, BimBom said verbatim, despite knowing this person was attracted to underage girls, Internet Anarchist still talked to him. The problem with this statement is that the message talking about getting hit on by 16-year-olds at age 31 was sent a full 20 days after he interacted with Internet Anarchist. This means it would have been impossible for Internet Anarchist to know about this, because it only became public knowledge afterwards. This is absolutely manipulative framing in my opinion, and it discredits the video a lot.
High girls were pretty interested in my blonde hair when I was there a couple months ago. Mind you, it was Bangla Road. LOL. Out of all places in a beautiful country like Thailand, Internet Anarchist visited Bangla Road in Patong, a well-known street for adult entertainment where nasty foreigners go to exploit Thai girls.
So now we're actually getting somewhere, and your opinion on whether or not you consider Internet Anarchist to be a predator is going to depend entirely on your moral assessment and your moral perspective of this situation. Internet Anarchist went to Bangla Road, which is a massive hotspot for sex tourism. Foreigners go there to pay for intercourse with Thai girls or lady boys, and just looking at this place makes me feel like we live in a dystopia. And later BimBom shows screenshots of Internet Anarchist talking about his experience visiting these places, so he's definitely been there multiple times. Now, if you think that going to these hooker places, where probably a lot of the girls there come from poor families and feel like they don't have any other options in life other than to sell their bodies for money, and they're being exploited, heavily underpaid, probably abused by the higher ups, if you think supporting that sort of business at all is predatory behavior, then and only then can you call Internet Anarchist a predator. But you have to be consistent about this belief. I personally believe that anyone that goes to these hooker places to pay the people there for sex is a massive loser and degenerate. Like, I recently found out my old boss goes to these places on a weekly basis, and I immediately lost all respect for him. I do believe the industry itself is predatory, and participating in the industry is definitely degenerate behavior, but I don't think that's predatory unless you're, abusing the chicks or sleeping with underage ones. If you're giving these pimps money to sleep with women, you are a degenerate failed human being in my opinion, but you are most certainly certainly not a predator. Because it's not like Internet Anarchist is responsible for this happening. If he wouldn't go to these places, nothing would change. Women there would still be exploited and trafficked. It's not like him specifically being there is the root of the problem. Now obviously it's questionable that he's at an area known for trafficking and horrible treatment of women, because I am pro sex work. I think if there's an ethical way to do it, there's nothing wrong with it, but the places Internet Anarchist has visited are highly likely far from ethical. He's supporting a horrible culture of sex tourism. I think that makes him a degenerate but not a predator, because the other person is consenting to this after all. And the only way you can ever call Internet Anarchist a predator is if you believe everyone paying for sexual actions with these exploited women is automatically a predator, because the women can't consent due to their circumstances. And if you believe that to be the case, you're entitled to your opinion, but I respectfully disagree. I think this is just degenerate gooner behavior. Now BimBom then shows these screenshots of Internet Anarchist talking about his experience going to a ping pong show at one of these sex tourism places. Now if you don't know what a ping pong show is, don't Google it, it's extremely disturbing. Essentially you watch people put like razor blades into their private parts, and again I think it's completely unhinged that Internet Anarchist is attending these shows. He highly likely has some sort of like disturbing preference or like a sex addiction or both, but again, even though I condemn him being there, and I honestly think it's insane that he willingly confesses to paying for being there, this is still just unhinged gooner behavior to me, but not outright predatory. Predatory would be like forcing the girls to do this, but the truth here is that they would be performing these actions even if Internet Anarchist wasn't there.
Then they fucked to Hot and Cold by Katy Perry. He continued to enjoy this nasty performance, even though these girls might be victims of sex trafficking. As Thailand ranks second out of 188 countries for 2 consecutive years in the US Department of State's 2023 Trafficking in Persons report. Anarchist, did you even care that these girls might be victims of sex trafficking?
Again, the implications here are just so wild. Yes, Internet Anarchist watching these performances in Bangla Road is degenerate behavior, and maybe these women were actually trafficked, but what do you expect a video essay YouTuber to do about this exactly? I mean, not to sound unhinged, but he was probably just like sitting there and, you know, I don't know, gooning, so like he's not gonna think about the possibility of these women being trafficked at this moment. He was probably like overcome by lust or something, like he didn't know what he was doing. I honestly think that this is more of an informative video of how a sex addiction can turn you into like a deranged, degenerate gooner than it's an actual exposed video.
I know David Bond tried, and he avoided Thailand for a couple of reasons. For those of you who don't know, David Bond is one of those losers who goes to the third world countries and exploit local women. So someone like David Bond is an inspiration for Internet Anarchist. This tells you a lot of what kind of a person Internet Anarchist is. What's the oldest you'll go? With this weird question that Internet Anarchist asked his friends, he was probably doing some kind of a research for his harem that he wants to create in Thailand, so he can follow David Bond in his sexual fantasies.
Okay, so Internet Anarchist literally just referenced David Bond, and based on him simply mentioning David, BimBom is saying that he's an inspiration for Internet Anarchist. Irresponsibly jumping to conclusions like this and painting Internet Anarchist as something he has no evidence for is exactly the reason why I don't support this video at the end of the day, because this just comes across as extremely disingenuous to me. Also, why is what's the oldest y'all would go a weird question? Framing this as some sort of weird message exposing his desires comes across as just so unhinged to me. This guy set out to create a narrative and he's absolutely unable to look at anything that Internet Anarchist does without immediately framing it as something malicious, and that's honestly the biggest issue with this video. Just look at this clip for example.
Internet Anarchist also confessed to flying within Thailand with illegal drugs. I flew with shrooms from Chiang Mai to Pattaya. Pattaya is a city known as a hotspot for predators who exploit local girls, many of whom may be victims of sex trafficking, and some possibly underage.
Like, what is this guy even saying anymore? All he has is a message of Internet Anarchist saying he flew from one city to another, and this guy immediately jumps to claiming it's a city where predators exploit victims of human trafficking. Like, okay, if Internet Anarchist went there to do exactly that, his career would be over and I would be shitting on him, but the problem here is we have zero evidence for that claim. He could have been there for business reasons, on a normal holiday, or maybe even like to actually perform like in sexual actions, but we can't say he went there to to exploit people, and implying that as the reason is extremely disingenuous once again. And in my opinion, that's the main issue here. This guy is 100% coming from a place of personal hatred, therefore he carefully frames everything in the worst way possible to make InternetAnarchist look like a complete predatory creep. But the reality here is we don't have any evidence for this, and that's exactly why people have turned on this video during the past couple of hours. Because this expose received a lot of support within the first day, but now on the second day another YouTuber called Gamma responded to it, basically calling it garbage, and it has led to people shitting on it relentlessly and blindly defending InternetAnarchist, and I think that's honestly a damn shame, because there is some stuff you can criticize InternetAnarchist for. I just honestly believe BimBom should have approached this video differently. If he just presented the information as it was and didn't try to like hyper sensationalize it, people would have definitely supported it. I mean, think about it. If he had named this expose InternetAnarchist degenerate gooning freak behavior exposed or something like that, it could have worked. Cause like only 2 months ago, Cam Nuggets also just got clowned on relentlessly by commentary people for his insane sexual activities on Discord servers. And I feel like people would have done the exact same to InternetAnarchist if the video just showed actual evidence of his deranged lifestyle. Like honestly, this could have probably gotten like a Queenman reaction, the absolute definition of a successful YouTube video. But instead, because this guy had to hyper sensationalize it, he's getting dogpiled, and InternetAnarchist fully escaped any scrutiny. And I don't know if the creator like knows his way around YouTube all that much. The decision to like sensationalize this piece might have not even been made consciously. Maybe he just thought this is how the YouTube video had to be, but it's a damn shame regardless, because he basically destroyed his credibility with his first ever video, which is a shocking level of incompetence. For instance, he decided to attack InternetAnarchist for showing off a fake play button. And yeah, I think that's cringe, but also why is this even included in the video? I thought this guy is a predator. Why are you wasting time by adding this in? This guy went to like the dogpack school of not just thumbnail design, but also just like autistic video structure, just adding in so much unnecessary stupidity. This honestly becomes the most apparent with the second part of the video. Now originally I was gonna dissect this point by point just like the first part, but with the second part I feel like it would honestly be a waste of your time, because there's no validity for the claims he's making. With the predator accusations, if you have a specific mindset on how you define the word predator, they are partially valid, but the second part focuses on the drug trafficking, and I think no matter how you look at this, InternetAnarchist is not a drug trafficker. Now don't get me wrong, the chat logs conclusively prove that InternetAnarchist is a drug addict. He apparently bases his lifestyle off Bowblacks and Destiny or something, because he consumes excessive amounts of drugs on a regular basis, but the problem here is that BimBom tries framing him as a terrible person and drug trafficker for this, with his evidence being multiple screenshots where he admits to flying with drugs in his luggage. But the problem here is that InternetAnarchist isn't taking these drugs to different countries to like sell them to vulnerable people. No, he's taking drugs everywhere he goes because he's addicted to them. Like, he's obviously a drug addict, but that doesn't make him automatically a bad person. If anything, I have sympathy for him and would like him to get better, and it's just so insane to me that this guy tries to frame InternetAnarchist as a horrible human being for this, when in the same video he even tells people explicitly not to use drugs, and that if they struggle with drug addictions, they should go call him and he will help them out personally.
Please don't do anything like this at home. If you struggle with any kind of addiction, seek professional help. And if you need someone to talk to, you can just message me and we can talk. And I'll do my best to help you.
Guys, drug addictions are horrible. If you need help, I'm there for you. Now that being said, InternetAnarchist is a horrible human being because he's addicted to drugs. Like, that is such a blatant contradiction, and it shows his extreme bias against InternetAnarchist. Because it's not like InternetAnarchist is promoting drug use to his audience. You just want to drive him off YouTube for simply having an addiction, despite also offering your help for addicted people. That is the definition of a personal vendetta and an extreme double standard. Now he then finishes the video by showing InternetAnarchist deleting his messages on the Discord server, and this would be shady as hell. But also the messages literally just consist of him talking about like Thai women, so like I guess whether you want to believe he's hiding them because they feature predatory content or because it's just fucking embarrassing depends on how you perceive InternetAnarchist as a person. Nevertheless, it's time to conclude this video. Overall, I don't want to give this guy too much shit because it's his first video after all, but also I'm definitely not gonna sit here and shame InternetAnarchist for having a drug addiction. I think the framing of the exposed video is definitely malicious, and it showcases a clear bias against InternetAnarchist throughout. BimBom's main priority with this wasn't to inform people, instead he wanted to get views. The drug trafficking claim is just pure nonsense, and the predator claim in my opinion is also false, although there's at least room to disagree with me here. The only thing this video really did is prove that InternetAnarchist lives an extremely degenerate lifestyle, which to be honest, I didn't like see that as a surprise. I mean, the guy moved to Thailand and openly admitted to importing over 100 monster cans from overseas every month to satisfy his cravings, and was also clearly addicted to extensively studying the YouTube algorithm every single day. Like, honestly, I would have been surprised if this guy wasn't addicted to like drugs, sex and violence, because I almost like expected that to be the case. Now, does this change my perception of his channel? Well, maybe a bit. If he tried shaming other people for like their lifestyle, I would definitely see that as hypocritical. But if he just continues making videos on people like Jake Doolittle, exposing them for begging for money, for instance, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I will continue to watch his channel, even though in the back of my mind I do kind of wonder what exactly this guy gets up to in these Thai table dance bars. As for the other guy, I think he ended his career way before it even started. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, please share your opinion on the comments, and I will see you in the next one.